Samantha, I think you actually are on mute this time.
You know what? I should take a drink at this point. I promise you. Thank you so much, Alex. I appreciate your love. And I'm going to start one last time. I promise you. Prof, I think it's the third time you're hearing your name. Professor Jason Irizarry, Interim Dean of the NEAC School of Education. Professor Laura Burton, Department Chair. Doctors Milagros Castillo Montoya, Kenny Nienhauser, Adam McCready, our beloved GA Ashley Robinson, the HESA cohort of 2022, or graduating class of 2021, or student speaker Alex Doming, or distinguished guests, family, and friends. Good afternoon. I welcome you to the 2021 HESA graduation celebration. I think we all just got through that in one shot. So moving forward, all protocols observed. It is my extreme privilege and honor to do some welcoming remarks. I am Dr. Saran Stewart. I have served as the program director over this past academic year. To get some housekeeping out of the way, we have already started recording this session. It will be recorded throughout the next 90 minutes. I would also like to truly note that 2 years ago, we started with a cohort of 15 students. Today, we graduate with a cohort of 15 students. One, however, not in the flesh with us, but very much in spirit. Our beloved Amanda Higgins, who passed away last month. We will be honoring her in this celebration. And more so, we'll be honoring all her accomplishments that she has done throughout this past 2 years as well. So just to give you a brief overview of the event, there will be a couple of remarks from our interim dean as well as our department chair. We will hear our student speaker for this year give his remarks on behalf of his graduating cohort. We will then individually, through the faculty and their advisees, represent and celebrate each of their accomplishments. The 2022 cohort has spent an assiduous amount of time deliberating and configuring a beautiful tribute and video for this current class. We will play that. And then we will end with some closing remarks from Dr. Nienhauser. So before I hand it off to our interim dean, I simply want to say truly congratulations. I will leave you with the words of one of my greatest idols, which is Nelson Mandela, that while I was on Robben's Island in Cape Town, I picked up a small trinket and looked at some of the carvings within his cell. And it reminded me of the resilience and grit that this class really possesses throughout the year. What they have gone through, triumph over, reminds me of the following, and I quote, "I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear." I feel that all 15 of our graduates have conquered more than their fears. And I want to celebrate each and every one of you. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it on to Professor Jason Irizarry, our interim dean of the NEAC School of Education. Prof.
Thank you so much, Saran. Good afternoon, HESA class of 2021. On behalf of all of us in the NEAC School of Education, I want to take a few moments to express our admiration and sincere gratitude. For one, thank you for seeing this through. You are here today because you have persevered with an unmatched level of strength and poise through what has literally been one of the most challenging times in the history of UConn, in the history of higher education, and for many of us in our personal lives. Thank you for taking care of one another. As a program, HESA has always cultivated a deep sense of community and connection. These values are not only crucial to what you will go on to do in your careers, but are clearly part of who you are as individuals. Never has your compassion or care for others been more meaningful or vital than this past semester, as we experienced with the tragic loss of Amanda Higgins. As you each follow your professional path, I know that you will never fail to advocate and look out for those who need it. In doing so, you will always be paying tribute to Amanda's memory and ambitions. Lastly, thank you for demonstrating such excellence in all that you have done here. We have been truly honored to have you in this program and as part of the NEAG School of Education. Without a doubt, you will continue to make us proud from this day forward. We can't wait to witness the positive impact you'll be making on generations to come. Congratulations to each of you. We applaud you and welcome you officially as HESA and UConn Husky alumni. Take care of yourselves, keep supporting one another, and be well. Thank you, everybody. Great to be here.
Thank you, Professor Rosari. And I now welcome Professor Laura Burton, our department chair, to say a few words to our graduates.
Thank you, Dr. Stewart. Again, my sincere congratulations to all of you in the graduating class. And I also want to acknowledge that it is in many ways a very bittersweet time, and Amanda is here with you all in spirit. And I am so pleased that you're able to honor her during this celebration. As you know, this has been an unprecedented time for all of you, for all of us. So thank you for your commitment to the work, your commitment to your colleagues, your commitment to the faculty, and your representation in the NEAG school. We are so excited to see what you will do in the future. And I know that there are great things ahead for all of you. So please know that UConn, the NEAG school, and the Department of Educational Leadership will always be home for you. Please return and see us, and we just wish you the best going forward. So thank you for inviting me to be a part of your celebration today, and congratulations, class of 2021. Best.
Thank you so much, Professor Burton. So at this point, I would normally welcome one of my students, Austin Gain, one of the HESA class of 2021, to do the introduction for our student speaker for this year. If Austin is in the room, he can simply unmute his mic. Yes, I see Austin's name. So go ahead, Austin. Please go ahead and unmute your mic and do the due diligence of introducing Alex to us.
Hi, everyone. I've been having some technical difficulties, so I apologize. But I have the absolute pleasure of introducing a very close friend of mine, someone that I think embodies all of the great things that this HESA program is about. Someone that is thoughtful, someone that leads with care, someone that has brought humor and love into this program, someone that I consider one of my absolute best friends and who I have so much gratitude for. And I know we all have so much gratitude for. And so I will now turn the proverbial mic over to Alex Doming to give our student speech.
Wow, I'm so excited. You came in at the perfect timing, and I was like, oh, I hope he's here, and you made it. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Austin. Super excited. So yeah, we're gonna get ahead with this speech. I'm glad that everybody's here. So for everybody that's on the screen right now, raise your hand if you're excited for this speech that I wrote 70% of last night. Let's go. So just to set some expectations, this address is not going to be groundbreaking by any means. I didn't even bring a shovel with me, so I'm not too sure how that'd work out anyways. Got to have some humor in this speech. So, like I always say, lovely weather we're having. I'm glad to see that I'm not the only student with my camera on today. It's lovely to see all of your faces. Please feel free to nourish yourself during the program today, and this goes for everyone on screen, all of our attendees. Please feel free to nourish yourself. There's an Aldi right next door to the hotel that I'm in, so you already know I'm going to go snag some snacks afterwards. But yeah, to get us all started, I'm going to thank all of our graduates for coming prepared with your own personal graduation speech. So I'm going to put us all into breakout groups, and each graduate will be facilitating their own graduation speech with a different group of our wonderful audience today. So I'm going to get that going. Let me hit these buttons real quick. No, I'm just playing. I just want to simulate being in class one last time. So I like to see the looks on everybody's faces. So cool. Now to get into the more serious parts of the speech, which will, still have some humor. So to our graduates, my homies, we made it. I have more words for us, but I wanted to name us first. This day is for us. To our faculty, Milagros, Kenny, Saran, Adam, Gerardo, I saw you in the attendee list. Excited to see you here. You have pushed us, cared for us, and challenged us in so many different ways. Your dedication to our learning and development has been such a treasure to me. The guidance you have provided both inside and outside of the classroom has been lit. I know that you have molded our classroom in worldly learning with much intentionality towards equity and access. These are themes that we can expect our graduates to carry forward into our lives, and your roles in developing us as change agents do not go unnoticed. To our campus and community partners who are in attendance today, you are our guest speakers in the classroom, whether at stores or in these little boxes on the screen. You taught and poured into us too, and that is something that we all hold gratitude for. Many of you have nurtured us and supported us not only as growing professionals, but as human beings as well. A special shout out to our co-learning classmates during our first year in the program, Paul Singleton II, Adacia Franklin, Megan Brown, Nicole Starkey, and Hannah Nguyen. They all played an important part in our experience as well. And although I have no idea whether they're joining us in this space, the openness they showed in learning about our field and the encouragement that they provided along the way is valued. To our loved ones, our families, our friends, and other important folks, I'm going to wave at the screen right now and say, yo, what's good? To all of you, because this is your celebration and achievement too. I've got the boys back home and my dad on this call, and I can't even begin to tell you how many times their support and love came through for me during the past 20 months or so. I imagine many of you are connected to our graduates in various ways. You are seen, and your time and effort and support have been integral, both before we started the program and absolutely while we have been going through it as well. To our assistantship and practicum supervisors, you have spent a lot of time with us, and the work you have done behind the scenes to intentionally support our experiences, especially through extremely uncertain times, has been so meaningful to so many of us graduating today. I have a couple bonus shout outs since I have the virtual floor here. The first one is to Dan Dorr, because he's a homie. I don't have more eloquent words, but Dan, that's just me being genuine. We really like you. Secondly, my team in CommStands has been incredible, and the confidence and care that you've showed me has helped me to get to a bright pathway into my future that truly feels incredible. Y'all hold a special place in my heart, and I'm honored to have shared time and space with all of you during this experience. To future colleagues, that's right, some of our future colleagues are on this call, including my team at Ohio State. Can't wait to see you all in a few weeks, and I'm grateful that you're here for celebration today, and I've got my Ohio shirt with me. So there we go. Thank you for being interested in joining us. So to continue forward, to paraphrase my absolute favorite cartoon character, SpongeBob SquarePants, what I learned in grad school is, and we're going to go and describe what I learned in grad school. Let's focus our lens back onto our graduates. Through all my conversations with the lovely peeps you see across your screen, there are a number of resounding reflections that resonate with me. The first reflection is that many of us, in the varying communal, familial, or relational context of our respective youths, never would have imagined where we would be today. I'm not here to divulge aspects of folks' journeys, traumas, expeditions, successes, setbacks, and comebacks, or anything of the sort, but I know that we have experienced these different impacts throughout our lives and during our graduate journeys. I know that there are many things that brought us into this point today, and I particularly think about resistance, collaboration, humor, resilience, and pure passion when I look at our graduates. I'm in awe of your greatness, my friends. As I was writing the speech, I fired up my record player to spin my favorite fusion jazz record entitled Bitches Brew by the prolific Miles Davis. For those of you who have never listened to this album, please look it up on your favorite music playing service. I won't name any specific one to avoid any brand loyalty bias, but I highly recommend Davis's work. It is a work of art that embodies perseverance from beginning to end. I put that record on because I knew there were parallels between the interruptions of trumpets and trombones and the new challenges that we all experienced individually and as a collective. The learning experiences, the struggle, the introspection, the conflict, both internal and external, all serve larger purposes. I cannot determine what that purpose is for you, but I can say a little bit about what it means to me. When I reflect upon my masculine socialization, you'll hear about this a million times, I never thought I'd be able to choose a vocation where I can lead with love and care, using primarily my heart and my words rather than breaking my back and my hands. That's something that my parents would have never imagined as a possibility for me. So I'm always filled with gratitude for these experiences that I've had. I must also recognize I scrolled down too far. There we go. We must recognize the responsibility and absolute gift that we have. That is influencing the lives of students in transformative ways. I say influencing on purpose because we do not and should not ever never hold control over our students, but rather we do what we can to nurture a sense of belonging, a change in how they view themselves within the world around them, and to engage within their communities to make lasting impacts to elevate everybody around them. Also, I know that it's been a hot minute since we've all been in person together, but I've had a few flashbulb memories in the past few days of our time together, and I'll leave you all with some anecdotes to reminisce upon a few of our shared memories. So I distinctly remember the day in Adam's class, first semester, when he joked that our cohort norm's brainstorming process was taking as long as the Big Dig in Boston. The room was quiet and confused, except for one single laugh in the corner. Ha ha ha! Because being from that was a bad laugh, but because being from Massachusetts, I was the only one who knew what the Big Dig was, and I always remember that. Another thing, I remember Amanda teaching us all the classic UConn football chant in class, and this moment feels like this moment we have right now feels like we're all at the 5-yard line on the red zone together. If you know the words, you know. I remember when about half of us went to our first UConn women's basketball game and ran into Milagros and her family because she could recognize my loud voice from 20 rows away. It was very good to see you that day, Milagros. I remember field day at V's house where we played football, hula hoop, stoked the fire, and ate so much yummy food that we all brought together. I'm also happy to officially announce that to this day, nobody has taken the egg cracking championship crown from Jasmine, and she will be honored for this miraculous feat later in our program. I know sometimes we're not always on the same page. This is just all of us as a collective. We're not always on the same page. Heck, sometimes I don't even know if I'm reading out of the same book, and that's okay. However, I'll always remember the time that we were all so in sync that we achieved a class average of 92% on our comprehensive exam narratives. I hope that your 92 was better than my 92. In summation, my team, I am so grateful for the time and care that you all have shared with me, the moments that folks have shared with one another, and I hope that we move boldly, caringly, and excitedly into the future that will be brighter and mad lit, as the kids say. Thank you.
Woohoo! Thank you so much, Alex. We appreciate you, your words, your joy, your laughter. It has been literally like a cup of water in a desert in most days throughout this COVID time. So truly, truly appreciate you. I want to acknowledge something, and for the parents and the guests and the practicum supervisors, the graduate supervisors, Dr. Gerardo Blanco, who was the former program, an associate professor for HESA and former program director last year with these beautiful graduates. I want to acknowledge his presence in the space. I also want to do the land acknowledgement. What we normally teach the students that during this time, we must display humility and grace because most of us has had to never been trained to do a graduation online. So for most of us, it's a hiccup of spots, right? For me in particular, I literally just left a funeral to literally with 2 minutes on the GPS to turn on this camera. So my mind is all over the place, but I would be remiss to not model for the students what we would always ask them to do, which is our land acknowledgement for the University of Connecticut. So we would like to begin again by acknowledging that the land on which the University of Connecticut is located is a territory of the Mohegan, Mashantucket, Pequot, Eastern Pequot, Schaghticoke, Golden Hill Pawcatuck, Nipmuc, and Lenape peoples, who have stewarded this land throughout the generations. We thank them for their strength and resilience in protecting this land and aspire to uphold our responsibilities according to their example. We also want to note that the town of Mansfield, and by extension, the University of Connecticut's existence and legacy, would never be possible without the labor of enslaved Black people. We acknowledge, respect, and honor those whose forced labor allows us to work, live, graduate, and remain beacons of excellence in this space. Thank you. So without further ado, we switch the gears of our agenda to our faculty remarks and presentation of our graduates, where we get to gloat on them a little bit. We're gonna do this faculty by faculty. And first, I would like to introduce Dr. Milagros Castillo Montoya, Associate Professor of Higher Education and Student Affairs. Dr. Castillo Montoya.
Thank you, Saran. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the program, I'm so excited to begin this portion where we are going to present our graduates of 2021. We'll be introducing each of our graduates, sharing information about their UConn HESA experience and their future aspirations. For each graduate, you'll see that there'll be a slide showcasing them and a memory of their time in HESA. We invite you to read along with us as we go through each graduate. So let's begin. Our first graduate is Alex Doming. Thank you. Alex did his assistantship at the Community Standards and did practica with UConn VPSA office and also as a HESA teaching assistant. Woohoo! For the first year students who had the chance to have Alex in class. Alex aspires to carry forth his love for masculinity, emotional responsiveness, and restoration into new places and spaces. We're so proud of you, Alex. Congratulations. Our next graduate in memoriam is Amanda Higgins. She did her assistantship at the Center for Students with Disabilities and her practicum at ACES and in engineering advising. Her hometown is Windsor, Connecticut, and we hold Amanda's memory in our hearts and in our minds as part of the UConn HESA class and as part of our program. We aspire to the example that she set forth for being a kind and caring educator, and we will always remember the impact she had on all of us. Congratulations to Amanda and to her family. Our next graduate is Austin Gain. He did his assistantship at Residential Life and practica with Community Standards and Engineering Advising. His hometown is Upland, California. Austin says, the name of the game for me is disruption, which you know made me smile, Austin, and looks forward to joining a new institution and seeing what good trouble he can get into. Congratulations, Austin. We also look forward to seeing the good trouble that you get into. Our next graduate is Irene Pex Agaya. She did her assistantship with the Center for Fraternity and Sorority Life and practica with ISSS, and HESA research assistant work with Dr. Kenny Nienhauser. Her hometown is Boynton Beach, Florida, and V looks forward to applying and enhancing the skills she gained in the classroom and in her assistantship. Really proud of you, V, and congratulations. Our next graduate is Jasmine Syndica. Jasmine did her assistantship at the Office of Institutional Equity and her practica with sports management in Princeton University's Dean of Students Office. Her hometown is Eureka, California, and Jasmine hopes to engage with the incoming generations of college students that will make her scratch her head. They will, Jasmine, and cry and laugh in all the same interaction. Congratulations, Jasmine. I'm really proud of all of you. You have been fantastic to see grow during this time and incredible stewards of what it means to be a student affairs practitioner and give it everything that you put into this last year. Congratulations to you all, and I'm going to pass the program over to Dr. Adam McCready.
Congratulations, everyone. I'm looking forward to also announcing my 6 advisees. So if you wouldn't mind advancing the, or do I have the ability to do that? No. There we go. Thank you, Ashley, I think. So I have the pleasure of introducing the first graduate who I had the privilege of advising, so Rhiannon Cohen-Johnson, who held an assistantship in student activities with Late Night, and also had practica with the Center for Fraternity and Sorority Development. And I had the pleasure of working with her as a TA, also with the first years this past fall. So Rhiannon looks forward to finding a new community that supports her just as much as this one has. I'm looking forward to, she's looking forward to getting to know students from all walks of life and utilizing her new skills to help them realize their own potential. And she'll do that across the country, or actually internationally, in the Vancouver, Canada area. So congrats, Rhiannon. Our next graduate is Connor Dugan, and Connor held an assistantship in the Center for Fraternity and Sorority Development and practica in the Women's Center and in the fall at the University of Wisconsin-Madison College of Engineering, and has also helped support the Law and Ethics course as a TA. His hometown is Topeka, Kansas. And Connor looks forward to the future. Connor can't wait for the future learning caused by students and peers. Having learned and grown a lot recently, Connor believes the connections between living and learning will only continue to push him in his practice. So congrats, Connor. Oh, okay. Sorry. Watching the screen. Our next graduate is Alquan Higgs, and Alquan is also in student activities in the trustees, student organizations, and Practica in student activities and student support services, and his hometown is Poughkeepsie, New York. Alquan looks forward to continuing to support underserved student populations in higher education, helping them reach their fullest potential. Congrats, Alquan. All right, here we are. Lupita Paniagua, who is held an assistantship in our Dean of Students office and Practica with student activities, major events and programs, late night, and the WOW program. And her hometown is Stockton, California. Lupita looks forward to not being a student for a little while. We'll see how long that lasts, and continuing to work with students and colleagues who all make it worth it. Lupita is excited to see what all the class of 2021 futures have to offer. Congrats, Lupita. Our next graduate is Alexis Roach, and Alexis holds an assistantship in student activities with leadership and organizational development, and held practica in sports management and in student involvement at the College of New Jersey. And her hometown is Hiawassee, Georgia. If I butcher hometowns, I apologize. But Alexis looks forward to applying skills and knowledge in new contexts and contributing ideas and energy wherever she ends up next. Specifically, Alexis hopes to continue supporting and working with student leaders along their journeys. Congratulations, Alexis. And of course, Maple, my dog, is not barking at the mailman. But our last graduate from my advisees is Skylar Sandler, and Skylar held an assistantship in student activities, the programs office with Subog, and Practica and the Dean of Students, careers and co-ops at Wentworth Institute of Technology, and her hometown is Branford, Connecticut. Skylar is excited to see what's ahead, even though she's unsure about what her next step is. Skylar looks forward to seeing and experiencing so many new things. And congratulations, Skylar. And to echo Milagros' words, I just want to acknowledge that while our journeys have been unique, up until now, your HESA journeys for our graduates and mine have run parallel to date. And it will be an odd experience to not have you as co-learners alongside me in the fall. And I've learned so much from you over the past 2 academic years. And I know that other HESA community members, the UConn community, in particular our students, your loved ones and others are better because of your commitment to learning and justice. You did it. Please center yourself and relish this moment. And with that, I have the pleasure of welcoming and introducing one of my colleagues, Dr. Kenny Nienhusser. So Kenny, the floor is all yours.
Great, wonderful. Thank you so very much, Adam. I'm going to begin with some very brief remarks before I go ahead and introduce my 2 wonderful advisees who are joining the ranks of our alumni. So, hello, welcome, bienvenidos. My name is Kenny, and I'm tremendously honored to be a faculty member in the UConn HESA program. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today to celebrate the 15 remarkable graduates who comprise the UConn HESA class of 2020 and will join the hundreds of alumni throughout the US. Isabel Allende, Chilean author, noted, "Eres el narrador de tu propia vida y puedes crear tu propia leyenda, o no." Translated, it says, you are the storyteller of your own life, and you can create your own legend or not. We need thoughtful, reflective, passionate, and equity-minded scholar practitioner change agents, such as each of our 15 graduating students, who are willing to engage in a challenging work to make our higher education systems and institutions more equity-focused for students, faculty, administrators, and our communities, and contributing to their successes. I hope UConn HESA has helped in helping you, our 15 graduates, in continuing to narrate your stories and create your own legends. You're powerful storytellers with tremendous agency. I look forward to hearing about your narrations and your legends in transforming higher education systems, colleges and universities, organizations, and our society. Thank you for the opportunity to learn alongside you these past 2 years. And in addition, I'd like to thank family members, friends, assistantship supervisors, practicum supervisors, mentors, past and current HESA students, and others for all your valuable contributions in supporting our graduates. Thank you. Gracias. Congratulations, felicidades to our 15 graduates. Now I'd like to introduce two of my advisees. First with Nicole Hyman. Nicole had her assistantship in the Office of Early College Programs at UConn, and also had practical experiences in student care and the Concerns team and ACES. Nicole's hometown is from Hartsville, South Carolina. And Nicole's especially excited to be returning to college access work and to continue supporting students on their post-secondary education preparation journey. Congratulations, Nicole. And our second student who would be graduating as part of my advisees is Chiara Huesta Cayetano. Chiara had assistantship in the Office of Diversity and Inclusion and practica, working in educational leadership, working with me in some research work that she did, and also working in the Dean of Students Care team. Chiara comes from Lima, Peru, and from Vernon, Connecticut. And Chiara looks forward to continuing to grow as a reflective practitioner and hopefully going for a PhD. I think we can take out the hopefully and go ahead and put that in there, that will be happening in the near future. So congratulations, Chiara, and congratulations to both Nicole and Chiara and to the remainder of our 13 graduating students. And now I would like to pass it virtually off to Saran to introduce her advisees.
Thank you, Kenny. I am happy to present my two advisees and then close with some overarching remarks about them first and then the overall class. So first up, we have none other than Morgan Laflamme. She had her assistantship on the off-campus and commuter student services, her practical, Center for Community Engagement, and first-year experience with her hometown in Willimantic, Connecticut. I smile from ear to ear because just in the last 2 semesters, we've seen so many praises of the awards that Morgan has done, not just for her tenacity, but for the lives that she has touched, which is indicative of the lives that she will touch. So while Morgan is unsure of where she will end up, she looks forward to continuing to center students and relationships in future roles. Morgan is excited for even more learning and growth that is yet to come. A testament of how good you are comes from those who you mentor or mentee. And Morgan has received such accolades from the students who have come through and been graced by her path and the support that she has demonstrated over the past year. It is exemplary. Our next graduate is Rachel Huada. Her assistantship is with her beloved Asian American Cultural Center. Her practica is with her beloved Asian and Asian American Studies Institute, Office of the Provost, Diversity and Inclusion at Boston University, if we see a trend going on. And her hometown is Aurora, Colorado. I know her parents and her twin sister are also on the call, and I've heard so many great things about you guys, and I'm so happy that you're here to join us. Rachel looks forward to continuing to build relationships and communities of care in her future practice. I want to congratulate Rachel. She's a stimulator, the one that continuously keeps me on my toes, rocks everything I thought was normative, and then pushes back at every ounce of every word. And I love and will miss her tremendously for it. I will continue to look at what you're doing and where you are landing very soon to come. And I want to say so much congratulations to both you and Morgan for all that you have taught me over the past 2 years and then some. Thank you. To all our 15 graduates, you are the beaker of excellence. For some of you who may not know, you guys know I talk about how you represent ourselves in the globe. In the United States, according to the current census, you represent among 13.1% of master degree holders across the entire United States population. Globally, where I come knocking more importantly, you are one of less than 5% around the world that will hold a master's degree. This is nothing short of remarkable, especially when we take into consideration the last 18 months that you have all had. It has been shaped by joy, sadness, rapid online learning, the ability to display grace, tenacity, grit, resilience, and share community for each and every one of you. And not just for each and every one of you, for each of us. As we embarked on every assistantship journey, practicum, we constantly were hearing in our virtual proverbial walls all the remarks about the HESA 2021 cohort and everything that they were doing and all the accolades that were coming their way. You didn't just make us proud, you make us stronger. We needed your strength more than I think you know. And I think we're stronger for it. And we genuinely care for each and every one of you. So congratulations to the entire class of 2021. Without further ado, we're going to display our gratitude, but I'm going to introduce Sarah Durnin, or from HESA class of 2022. She will represent the UConn Student Affairs Association and present the class of 2021 a video tribute. Sarah?
Hi, everyone. I'll keep this short and sweet, but on behalf of the whole first year cohort, we just want to say congratulations and best of luck to all of you as you move on to bigger and better things. This past year has been a whirlwind, and you all truly have so much to be proud of. We have a brief video to share now so that we can look back on some fun memories from the past 2 years. I do just want to note, depending on how you're accessing this event, you may not be able to see the video, but we'll put the link in the chat so that everyone is able to access it at some point in time. But please enjoy, and congratulations again, everyone.
Ashley, I think you have to unmute your mic so we can hear the music.
I deserve congratulations, 'cause I came out the other side. I've been having revelations, and I'm gonna let them shine. I deserve congratulations, and never thought that I'd survive. If you tell me I won't make it, and that's when I super blue. Resilient little thing, just like mama raised you, so you got that wildfire in your soul. Don't you ever let it go. Make your burn so bright that they all know. I deserve congratulations, 'cause I came out the other side. I've been having revelations, I'm gonna let them shine. I deserve congratulations, never thought that I'd survive. Never rained in the desert till I pick me for the very first time. It's darkest before the sunrise. That's when I never rained in the desert till I pick me for the very first time. It's darkest before the sunrise. That's when I super blue,
a celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gonna celebrate your party with you. Come on now. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. We gonna celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world, come on! It's a celebration. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate. There's a party going on right here. A dedication to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gon' celebrate and party with you. Come on now. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Yeah, yeah. We gon' celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world, come on! It's a celebration. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate. Come on now. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's all right. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's all right, baby. We're gonna have a good time tonight.
Wow. Thank you so much, Sarah, on behalf of the UConn Student Affairs Association. That was brilliant. Thank you to UCSA. Thank you for the HESA class of 2022 for doing such an amazing job to celebrate our graduates. Class of 2021, that was memorable. You guys had a ride, and that was absolutely a beautiful token to see your journey over the past 2 years represented like that. So congrats again. Before we move on to the regular scheduled program, I'm going to interrupt us because we're sharing this space with a lot of family and friends, a lot of our campus partners, and we would be remiss if we did not take a pause to recognize and congratulate both Doctors Milagros Castillo Montoya and Kenny Nienhauser for their recent promotion to associate professor with tenure, noting that their great impact on this program, nothing that you see today, what we've been through, would have been possible. Your scholarship, your dedication to the program, your service to the students goes far and beyond within and outside of the classroom. You guys have displayed great grace in just experts in your scholarly nouns, but knowing each of you personally, it's the family sacrifices, the devotion and dedication to your students that really are at the pinnacle and at the forefront of what you do. I really want to say congrats. As I was listing out the percentages, I was trying to find a percentage. But those of us that actually get tenure, and they're few and far in between, and it is not any small feat. And I do want us to just take a moment to applaud and celebrate these two amazing colleagues for all that they have accomplished this year. So congrats, Kenny, congrats, Milagros. We do have actual tokens. We would not have obviously let you guys go without doing something for you. Ashley, I don't know if it's ready to be seen. I know we're gonna print and get it to you, but we have curating something that's very sentimental and we think very dear and near to what would reflect the sentiments of all the students that you have taught in HESA. For Milagros, it has been a labor of love over the past 6 years, and for Kenny over the past 2 or 3 years. And so we have captured those in a visual form so you guys can place it somewhere and be reminded of all the things that you have done and caused impact on. So thank you guys and congrats. So to wrap us up, I am going to call on my colleague Kenny Nienhauser to close out the program.
Great, wonderful. Thank you so very much, Saran. Very beautiful. Thank you. And I couldn't have chosen a better colleague the last 3 years to be on this journey with Milagros. So congratulations, Milagros. Felicidades. Thank you, Saran. Very beautiful tribute for sure. In closing, there's one person who I wanted to make sure that we thanked, and that was Ashley Robinson. She has been phenomenal in putting all this together. Thank you so very much, Ashley. Ashley is our graduate assistant in the program. She does a phenomenal job to make sure that things are continuing to move in our program and making sure that this event went smoothly. So thank you, Ashley. You did a great job. Thank you very much. It was great working with you to make sure that all these pieces fell through together smoothly, and you did a great job in doing that. So thank you very much. And thank you to everyone for joining us today again to celebrate our phenomenal 15 graduates. And to all our graduates, once again, congratulations, felicidades. Please do stay in touch. Don't be strangers. We always love receiving updates and hearing about all the great work you're doing in our field to transform higher education systems, higher education institutions, colleges and universities, as well as organizations and more globally in our society. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us. Be well and take care.